Hi guys, today you join me from the driver's seat of a 2004 Toyota Corolla T Sport. So 1.8 VV TLI produces 199 horsepower. It's a perky little thing, to be fair. It picks up quite well. It's not the fastest thing that I've ever driven, but what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you an honest review on this car. I've had this car for about 5 or 6 weeks now, and to be honest with you, I'm quite enjoying driving it. My missus has got a EP3 Civic Type R, and I will say they are very, very similar. There's a few differences. Obviously, one's got a Honda badge, one's got a Toyota badge, but they are very similar. They both use valve timing. They both like you to rev the tits out of them to get the power out of them. The Civic Type R has got a 2 litre K20 engine, 2 litre VTEC. This is a 2ZZ, is it? Or, yeah, 2ZZ GT engine. As I say, this is only 1.8. The Civic Type R is 193 horsepower. This is 189, so there's not much difference. I am a rear wheel drive man at heart. I love rear wheel drive cars. I love having a little play. I love getting little drifts on, cheeky slides, etc. But I always says that if I was going to have a front wheel drive car, it would only ever be a Honda Civic Type R. It's the only front wheel drive car that I've driven and I've really enjoyed. Until I got this. I'm quite impressed with this, to be fair. I picked this up off a mate of mine, Farley. I took him to Bristol to pick up his new Subaru, and we took this with us because the bloke was interested in a part exchange. Long story short, the bloke never had it, so I had the pleasure of driving this back from Bristol, and to be honest with you, I fucking loved it. Picks up very, very well. Once you get it past 6,000 RPM, it fucking rips. Because these engines use the variable valve timing, you don't really get much power until you get to mid to late revs. So for this, for instance, 6,000 RPM, the lifters kick in, and then it comes to life, and it will allow you to rev it right into the 8,000s, right into the 8,000s. And I think, to be fair, these engines are built this way, so you use the whole of the rev range. You're not really thrashing it within an inch of its life. These engines are built to be driven that way, very much like the Civic Type R's. To be honest as well, I'm almost married, but I've got 3 kids, and this is a 5-seater. My youngest, my little lad Joey, he's only 7 months old, so the 5 of us with his car seat, and my 7-year-old's car seat, and my 10-year-old's booster seat fit lovely in the back of this, and there's enough room in the boot for his pushchair. His pushchair is not exactly small, but there's plenty of room in there for the family to go out. We can even get a changing bag in there, and probably even an overnight bag in there as well. So I would feel quite comfortable going away for the night in this without any issues. It's quite comfortable to drive as well. The suspension, it has been lowered on some e-back springs, but it's not uncomfortable. It still retains some of the comfort. It's got a power flow exhaust system. It has got a cat on it, it's a sport cat, but I am thinking about getting it decatted anyway. I wouldn't mind putting it on some coilovers just to make it a little bit more stiffer. And I have read it's recommended to get a rear anti-roll bar. That way then it will stiffen the back up and the handle a hell of a lot better. I mean, the handle's alright now, but it could be better. It's got this weird T-sport brace across the front shock towers, and basically it's a dampener, so it's not a solid strut brace like you put on aftermarket. It's an actual T-sport one, but it's got a damper on it. And from what I've read about it is the fact that they put the preload on it before they install it on the vehicle, so it's already under tension when it's being fitted to the car, and once it's fitted to the car, it pushes the shock towers apart. I love that. It's a perfect little car. It does pick up and get off, to be fair, quite well. I don't think it needs to be any quicker, if I'm honest. Don't get me wrong, I would like it to be quicker, but it doesn't need to be any quicker. What power I've got here, I can use it. Technically, you're not supposed to use it on the street, so you know, I'm not telling you guys out there to go and thrash it down your local jeweler. I'm not on about that. But just for them nice drives when it's just you in the car, there's nobody else with you, you're just out on an open road, and you just, you know what I mean, you just enjoy the road. I think it was well, it'd be quite fun on track. I mean, stiffened up, a few more braces here and there, maybe a half cage or some kind of bracing for the cab. I think it'd make a really good track car. I've got a friend of mine, Ollie, he's into his Integras. Years ago he had this white one that literally, it didn't spend much money on the engine at all. It still remained the same power, but it handled like fucking shit on a shovel. It literally glued, it was on rails. And I remember going to a few track days to Donny and being able to be lucky enough to have the experience of going out as a co-pilot with Ollie. I mean, he can drive, but his Honda Accord, his Honda Integra was just something else. It handled immensely. It was keeping up with cars you wouldn't even dream of it keeping up with. It was amazing. He's got another one now, and he's gone down exactly the same route as that. And if I could get this one to that level, whereas I could take it to track and it would be awesome, and then I could still drive it home that day and not have any problems or anything, and it'd still be comfortable enough to drive home or drive to a track. But I do really like this car. I really do like this car. I mean, this one in particular has done 149,369 miles. That's quite a lot of mileage for a 2004. However, this engine is proof that if you look after it and you maintain it, it will just keep going and going and going. I've got receipts for this car for the work it's had in the past. It's been serviced very regularly without fail. It's not been used cheap stuff, do you know what I mean? It has had cheap products used on it. It's decent quality oils, decent quality spark plugs, etc. It's had all the valve clearances checked. It's had new lift bolts on it. It's had new timing chain. It's had new chain guide, new chain tensioner. All the risk of owning a car with that many miles has kind of been taken out of it, because I've got all this history to back up to tell me that it's actually been looked after. Somebody has spent the not only the time but their money on the car to maintain it. Quite a few people look at this car and think, what's that? A Toyota Corolla? But it's not a standard looking Toyota Corolla. I mean, it is standard the way it looks coming from the factory, minus the wheels. It has the TTE kit on the standard, so it's got the top window spoiler, it's got the front bumper with the extra skirt on, it's got a different rear bumper on with the little spats on the corners, it's got the side skirts on it. It's running some Team Dynamics 5-spoke 17-inch rims. They've got tyre proxy tyres on the back. I think the front's on Nankang NS2s, which, to be fair, ain't a bad tyre. They're not the greatest in the wet. I've drove this a couple of times in the wet, and it does spin quite a bit. It has got a traction control button, so it does try and fight the traction, but with the traction control off, it just spins and spins and spins and spins. Excuse me. It does put a smile on my face. It really does. It comes with a 6-speed gearbox as standard, which is nice. However, there's not much difference between 6th and 5th in regards to the gear ratio. I could be sat on the motorway 70 miles an hour in 5th and I'll be doing about 3,250 RPM. I changed to 6th, I'm still doing 70 miles an hour, I'm doing 3,000 RPM. I've dropped 250 revs. Not much really. And anything over 70, it sounds like you need to change gear up, but there's no 7th gear. What I would like as well on the gearbox, especially the shifter rear, is a bit more precision. So maybe a short shift, because there's not masses of throw, and I think I'm kind of biased because my last few cars have all had short shifts on them, so the gear change has been very short, very precise, very clunky, and I quite like that. So I think a bit more precision in the gearbox would be nice. So as I said earlier, I've had the car for about 5 or 6 weeks. In that time I've done 653 miles in those 6 weeks. So in those 653 miles, my experience of the car has been a good one, to be honest. I think because it's still new and I'm still enjoying this valve lifting technology, I'd maybe drive it a little bit harder than I should have done. So I could probably say that easily in the last 6 weeks I've probably put 100 pounds of fuel in it. It needs a few bushes doing at the front, definitely, on the lower arms, definitely. So that kind of wraps me up then for my little review on the Corolla. I've enjoyed the 6 weeks ownership I've had. I don't think I'll be in any rush to get rid of it, because I've got a little interest in this car. I want it to be something, and I want it to be a track going road car, as simple as that. One that I can use to and from wherever I need to be on public roads, and then I could just turn up at a track day and just take it around the track. I've got the benefit of having a work van. My work van's a 6-seater crew cab, so if this was off the road for a couple of weeks, it wouldn't matter, because I wouldn't need to rely on it to take me and the family around. We can go in the crew cab. My missus has got her type park. Granted, it's only a 4-seater, so we can't all go out in it, but she's got it to take the kids to school, so we're comfortable with vehicles. But yeah, I will just generally update the channel with any videos. I would like to do some review videos. I've got plenty of friends who've said that they don't mind me reviewing their car. They're willing enough to give me the keys to it. Oh yeah, that beeping noise. I don't know if it's because reverse is so close to first, but it beeps at you to tell you that you're in reverse. A lot of people disconnect that because it's a pound in the arse. Cheers, bud. But you know, we'll just see how it is. Right then, I'll catch you all later. Peace.